trying to figure out your nickname in high school when you played. What was it?
I didn't have one.
I was going to ask obviously about Brad and what he was able to do today.
Yeah, Brad did everything today in practice, so good day for him.
Curious as far as when you say did everything, that's usually a great sign for playing the next day. What would you say his status is for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we're hopeful. You always got to just see how they wake up, how they respond to a day of practice. But I think we're hopeful he'll play.
When you're looking at a knee situation where it's not structural but it's swelling, when did the swelling get down enough for you guys to put him back out on the court at least?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday he did a little bit, and today, he did everything. So he's just been progressing through it, in a good way, as kind of we expected.
Another thing I had was obviously with Indiana, the record probably doesn't reflect what they are as a team. What are you seeing when you look at the players?
Yeah, I mean, they're, the players, Halliburton stands out, but Siakam, Turner, McConnell off the bench, Nembhard, Mathurin, Toppin. They've got a great roster, and then, Coach Rick Carlisle does a great job with them. They play fast, they score, they're hard to defend. So we're going to have to be ready to, kind of have our best defensive effort tomorrow.
You mentioned Tyrese. What are some of the challenges that kind of go into guarding a player who can obviously play make but can get to his own spots as well?
Yeah, his speed, stands out, but then his ability to get to his spots and make his shots, play off of others, play make. He's just a good player. He's got a little bit of a unique game, and he's very effective.
I was just curious, the Suns are going to roll out that $2 value menu for fans. I don't know if you saw that. It's like hot dogs and water and popcorn are all only $2 instead of $7, $8. Management is doing that. I'm just curious, what do you think about that type of initiative around concessions?
I think it's great. More value for the fans. I might ask Matt how come it's not $3 so that we can shoot more threes, but in this case, twos are good. All right, thanks.
I haven't looked into it too much. Is it 3 teams and a rising stars team?
Yeah, Rising Stars team would play 3 teams. You guys would be divided among 24, 3, 8.
Yeah, it's just, it's changed, it's different. I'm more into the nostalgia. I agree with Kev. I like East versus West. But with your own team jersey, I like the old jerseys. But yeah, it's whatever.
The only reason I ask is because, they keep talking about they got to change things up to drive the interest, but part of why the games have gone that way is teams are focused on their team, as far as the season, not wanting to, injure or anything like that. But what could improve the competitive side of the game?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough part of the season. Usually outside of All-Star break or right after is like the home stretch where you're gearing up. And, I'd say most guys that are even going into the game are probably already dealing with something. But it's tough. That's an important part of, the NBA tradition. It's always been a highlighted weekend. But things are just changing and evolving. So you just have to take it for what it is.
The other thing I had was when I see you interacting with Oso and Ryan, even in the games, it's almost like you take the pass out to Ryan, you tried to make a move, and you were like, all right, it's okay. What's that been like being that interactive with them?
Yeah, they keep me young, man. Nah, man, it's just, I always talk about their IQ for the game, so, we can have them high-level basketball conversations, and, I try to give any tips and advice that, might sound too detail-oriented, but I know they have the IQ to pick it up and translate it and use it.
You saw the $2 value menu that the Suns are going to do.
Yeah, that's it. That's special, man. Matt's doing some incredible things. I know as a spectator, that's a big change. I always hear about concession prices, so that's a big move by him. That I found out with you guys. I had no idea it was coming either.
And then obviously you guys facing the Pacers tomorrow. What was it like being able to be teammates with Tyrese over the summer and kind of get to learn about his game and what kind of motivates him and that sort of thing? He's a character, man. We had a lot of special times, and even post-Olympics, we ran into each other in France.
and spend some time together. So, you know, our relationship has grown. He's somebody that I've tapped in with during this season also, so the communication stays there, and, you know, I'm looking forward to playing against him tomorrow.
When you hear this playlist, you have a lot of connections in the 90s, obviously you're born in 96. What resonates with you when you have the relics like the Method Man shirt and the Public Enemy hat and all the other things that have come up?
Man, that's just through my father, man. That's just sitting in the car with my dad and all the summers down in Mississippi, and he was Spark Notes before Spark Notes, a rap genius. You know, he would stop songs and recite them back to me and explain them, and I was 10, 11, 12 years old at the time. So, you know, it's stuff that I can relate to now or understand a little bit better at an older age, but, you know, growing up, I was singing a lot of these words not even knowing what I was saying.
When you see the sneakers, of course, you said that you have an amalgamation of what basically the sneakers that inspired you to create your book ones. What were the sneakers that stand out to you that helped to create the shoe and the design?
I say all the ones. I say the Air Jordan 1, Air Force 1, Nike Blazer. You know, there's inspirations of all those shoes implemented into it. The Jordan Fly Strip, the Jordan 1 Fly Strip was a big part of it. So, you know, whatever colorway I feel like I throw on there, it kind of resembles that shoe in a way. So it transforms into a bunch of different shoes.
It's like the East Bay Magazine catalog.
Yeah, that's vintage. Yeah.
We've talked a lot about knowing what Tyus has had in his game for a long time. I was just curious, when did you kind of first start to get to know Tyus or be aware of his game?
Said after the last game, I was aware of him before he even knew who I was. Like 5th, 6th grade, you know, those guys were always ranked high, and they were on the circuits that I used to follow on YouTube. There's a bunch of different ranking websites they were always at the top of. So, yeah, it's been a long time.
Did you ever talk with them about that? I know you guys were in the same draft class, obviously.
Yeah, we always kept in contact. You know, we would be on the Nike EYBL together, and then a couple of the same schools recruit us at the same time, Duke, Michigan State. So they just put us on 3-way phone calls. The relationship's been there.
Specifically as a two guard, what goes into creating that chemistry with a point guard?
I'll just say time, you know, being thrown in the fire, communicating with each other, and, you know, just having a feel for the game.
Thanks, both.
Yep.
Thank you.
Pro, what that means is being ready when the games is called. Obviously, you've been playing a lot as of late. What do you feel like you've been able to bring to the group since you've been able to get back into the rotation?
Really just trying to play hard on defense. I feel like my defense has been better, you know, in my previous years, just taking pride on defensive end. I think a lot of that is just bringing the energy, and it's helping our transition offense just once we get stops and get in there and rebound. I know I'm able to space the floor and help guys make shots, basically with my open looks, but playing in pick and roll and getting other guys open, I feel like that's something I'm bringing, and just bringing just energy to the group and giving, you know, Tyus a break too, you know, once he's out there.
The only thing I had was on your drive, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, there's bodies there.
Yeah.
And it was another body there, and you still went in and finished it.
Yeah.
Kevin gave you the deflect. Maybe just take me through that play.
I mean, for me, I practice finishing all the time. Like in the mornings, they have like a stick up that's like Wimby like size. So, I mean, I knew once I got to the rim, I seen how it was going. I seen Denny was down there, and I played with Denny in DC, so I know he don't really like shot blocking, so he just was gonna go straight up. So I knew if I got into his chest, it'll bring his hands down. And once I seen that, I wasn't too much worried about the other defender because I knew I was gonna get the ball up in time. Worst case, he would have goaltended it, but I mean that's something I knew what I was gonna do as soon as Kevin gave it to me. I was just reading the floor. Kind of knew Simons was in the corner, but he wasn't just going to leave strong side, and I was going to make the play. So it was either that or just bring it out and not be aggressive. But Coach wanted me to be aggressive in those situations, so that's kind of what I did. So it was fun.
You've always been a good defender, but I know last year for you, joining Minnesota,
Yeah.
the focus was don't be the weak link. How much did you kind of carry that into this year on the defensive side?
I think it just got installed in me. I think that's one of the best things that happened to me going to Minnesota and see how much they pride themselves on the defensive end. So once I got over there, I'm like, yeah, I'm a defensive player now. You kind of psych yourself about, you know what I'm saying? So coming here, like, And then me being in shape, being healthier, I was able to get a lot more stronger. So it's helped me on the defensive end to guard bigger guys and hold my ground a little bit more than I was able to in my first couple years in the NBA. So.
I know for you and Tyus, the focus is coming in, learning guys' tendencies. Now that you've been here for a while and getting more minutes, how is that process coming in?
Everything's coming the way I want it to. I mean, guys giving me, Kevin, Book, those guys, Brad, obviously played with Brad already, so they just want me to play my game and, to help them. That's what they always tell me. You play your game and we're going to get ours. The more aggressive we are, it make it easier on them. So I think just learning tendencies and learning what people want from me, I think the sky's the limit. Ty has found this groove as of late as well. He's been shooting the ball well and being aggressive. And I just think it's only going to get better for everybody.
What was your biggest improvement that you feel like you've had since the season thus far with this team?
I would just say my leadership and my just being a pro, ability. I mean, just coming in here, guys see me coming here whether I wasn't playing or not. I've been the same guy, full of joy, pushing guys and pushing myself. I think that's the biggest thing I've seen from myself. My game is my game. Everybody know what I can do, but just not feeling sorry for myself because I wasn't playing. I think that's a very underrated thing to have, and a lot of guys fall into it, and then when you get your opportunity, you're not ready. So just always having that mindset. I think that's why I'm so happy for myself, because a couple years ago I probably would have been in the dumps, down, but 29 years old now, man. I've been around the block a few times, so you got to be a man and just be ready for your opportunity. And that's why I'm happy with myself.
You mentioned kind of learning the tendencies of others. What are kind of the finer details that go into figuring that out with guys?
Just reps. I think competing in practice is a good thing. Going up against the starters, playing with the starters, you kind of get a feel of where guys like the basketball, where they're most productive, what they don't like, what they do like. And it's up to you to know what play calls we can call to get them in the right spot. And today we went over more schemes and stuff with Bud. He brought me and Tyus aside, like end of the first quarter, Monté, this is some plays we can run with Book and this. Then second quarter, it's Kay and Brad talking to Tyus. So it should be a little more easier, more smooth, more rhymes in the method going forward. So.
Is that up and down into that?
Yeah, a little bit, for sure. Yeah. We got to get ready for Indiana, man. They fast as shit. Yeah.